everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in GK Today's Academy Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in Academy Android application. So in this app course you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document and also category wise revision ebooks which are optimized for reading on your mobile itself. Apart from it, you are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. Please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 13th of November 2021. Starting with very first question. Which organization released a report titled as Sustainable Urban Cooling Handbook? So this is UNEP, means United Nations Environment Programme, and as per the report, cities will be the hotspots as global warming continues uncontrolled, and overheated cities will face climate change cost twice those of the rest of the world because of the urban heat island effect. And the report is based on an analysis of the world's 1692 largest cities. Okay. Now apart from it, the 2021 edition of Global Innovation Index was published by World Intellectual Property Organization, and it shows the latest global innovation rankings of 132 economies based on 81 different type of indicators. So in this ranking, Switzerland, Sweden, US and UK continue to top, while India ranks at 46th in this list. Okay. Now apart from it, according to World Trade Organization report on trends in world agricultural trade in the past 25 years, India has entered into the top 10 list of agricultural produce exporters in the year 2019. Important thing is, European Union has overtaken United States as the top exporter. Now also the annual Freedom on the Net report has been released by US think tank Freedom House, and as per this report, Iceland topped the ranking and it was followed by Estonia and Costa Rica. Also report found that people had been arrested or convicted for their online activities in 56 out of 70 countries covered by the report. Okay. Now a few days back we have talked about a report named as Renewable Integration in India 2021. And now you have to tell me which two organizations jointly launched this report. Please write your answers in the comment section if you remember. Question number 2. Which country is the first beneficiary of the Climate Investment Fund, that is CIF? So South Africa had announced that it would be the first beneficiary of Climate Investment Fund, and India, Indonesia and the Philippines will join South Africa as the recipient of pilot program aimed at accelerating their transition from coal power to the clean energy. And the CIF said that the ACT program, that is Accelerating Coal Transition Program, targets the developing countries which lack adequate resources to finance the transition from coal. Okay. Now apart from it, PPCA, that is Powering Past Coal Alliance, is an international alliance dedicated to phasing out coal, and 28 countries have recently joined the alliance at COP Summit. So this addition brings the total number of national governments involved to 48, and the new members of PPCA include Ukraine, Poland and Singapore. However, China, India and the US, the three biggest burners of coal worldwide, have not joined this PPCA. Okay. Now in the previous lecture, we have seen that according to a new NASA study published in the journal Nature Food, the climate change may affect the production of maize and wheat by 2030 under a high greenhouse gas emission scenario. And as per this study, maize crop yields are projected to decline by 24%, while wheat could potentially see a growth of about 17%. And this is due to obviously increase in temperature, shift in rainfall pattern, and elevated surface carbon dioxide concentration from greenhouse gas emissions. Okay. Question number 3. Landsat 9, which was seen in the news recently, was launched by which organization? So NASA's Earth observing satellite Landsat 9 was launched on 27th of September, and it is a joint mission between NASA and USGS, that is United States Geological Survey, and the satellite has collected its first light image of Earth, and now these images would help to understand climate crisis, and it would also help in managing agricultural practices and in preserving resources and respond to natural disasters. Okay. Now apart from it, Deep Space Atomic Clock of NASA has successfully ended its mission recently, and it was built by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. So this clock is actually a mercury ion atomic clock, and it was launched aboard the Department of Defense Space Test Program 2 mission on 25th of June 2019. And after it completed its 1-year primary mission in Earth's orbit, NASA extended the mission to collect more data. Okay. Now apart from it, NASA is set to launch its Psyche mission next year, and it will be the first spacecraft to study an asteroid that is rich in metals but not so rich in dust and ice. And Psyche asteroid orbits the Sun in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Okay. Question number 4. Which Indian city is to host the Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan? So India has recently hosted the Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan on 10th of November, which was attended by total 7 countries, and it was chaired by our National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. And the dialogue was held at the level of National Security Advisors or Secretaries of Security Councils, and as per the recent media reports, both China and Pakistan have not attended the meeting, and 7 countries, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan participated in this event. Okay. Now apart from it, the Delhi cabinet has recently approved a budget of 1,544 crore rupees under the emergency COVID-19 response package 2021 to 2022, and it aims to strengthen the health system in order to be prepared for a possible third wave. And the budget will be spent on enhancing testing and labs, procuring supplies, mobilizing human resources, increasing health facilities in the hospitals, and managing COVID care centers, among others. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that recently Government of Delhi has launched Jai Bhim Mukhyamantri Pratibha Vikas Yojana 2021, and the aim of this scheme is to provide benefit to the students belonging to SC, ST or OBC, and under the scheme free coaching classes would be provided for needy students who are preparing for UPSC, CDS, NEET or JEE main examinations. Okay. Question number 5. Which union ministry is associated with the draft mediation bill 2021 which was placed in public domain recently? So the Ministry of Law and Justice placed this bill in public domain seeking feedback and suggestions from all the stakeholders. So the bill proposes to bring about a stand-alone law on mediation on issues of domestic and international mediation. As India is a signatory to Singapore Convention on Mediation, the bill also seeks to use the terms conciliation and mediation interchangeably. Okay. Now apart from it, in the previous lecture we have seen that Union Ministry of Electronics and IT has proposed to host a national level drone technology conference in India, And also ministry has stated that it would be an annual event which would create a platform for users and technology providers. So as we know that recently Government of India has released new drone rules 2021 which permits for higher payloads, and also it increases the coverage of drone from 300 kgs to 500 kgs. Okay. Now apart from it, recently RBI has come out with a revised PCA framework for scheduled commercial banks which would come into effect from 1st of January 2022. And talking about PCA framework, recently RBI has removed Indian Overseas Bank from its PCA framework, and this bank was placed in the year 2015, but now bank does not meet the criteria of PCA framework, hence it has been removed by RBI. Okay. Question number 6. Garud Chatti Bridge, which was recently inaugurated, is located in which Indian state? So the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has recently laid foundation stones for multiple projects worth 180 crore rupees, and he dedicated to the nation various development projects in Kedarnath, which lies in Uttarakhand, including this Garud Chatti Bridge on river Mandakini. Also he inaugurated Shri Adi Shankaracharya Samadhi and unveiled the statue of Shri Adi Shankaracharya. Okay. Now a few days back also we have seen that the Uttarakhand Forest Department has inaugurated the first palmatum of state, and it has been developed in Haldwani area of Nainital district. Also, the first orchid conservation center of North India has been inaugurated here 2-3 months back. Okay. Now apart from all these things, under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, premium to be paid by the farmers is fixed at 1.5% of the sum insured for Rabi crops, 2% is for Kharif crops, while it is 5% for cash, or you can say horticulture crops. And the balance premium is split between center and states. Also the government has constituted a working group which will basically find out the reasons for high premium rates and suggest mechanism to rationalize them. Okay. Question number 7. Which country successfully launched 3 new remote sensing satellites belonging to the Yaogan 35 family? So China successfully launched 3 new remote sensing satellites belonging to this particular family, and they were launched by a Long March 2D carrier rocket. And this launch marked the 396th mission for the Long March series carrier rockets, and the rocket series successfully completed the 300th launch by putting a new communication satellite into orbit in the year 2019. And the average number of launches per year has increased from 2.7 to 23.5, which is just a great change. Okay. Now apart from it, as per the media reports, China's military has conducted 2 hypersonic weapon tests recently using FOBS, that is Fractional Orbital Bombardment System, to launch a hypersonic glide vehicle capable of carrying the nuclear weapons. Now also China has recently launched a 3-person crew for a mission of 6 months on board the Shenzhou 13 spacecraft to its space station on 16th of October. And the crew is planned to set up a new record for the time spent in space by the Chinese astronauts as China moves for completing the orbiting structure. Okay. Also, I think 1 week back we have seen that China has recently launched a rocket named as Shijian-21 atop of Long March 3B rocket from Xichang Satellite Launch Center. Okay. Question number 8. Which country has recently passed the historic $1 trillion infrastructure bill? So the US Congress has recently passed this particular bill, which is a package of highway, broadband and other infrastructure improvements. And the bill has now been sent to the US President Joe Biden to sign into the law, and the US government will now oversee the biggest upgrade of the country's roads, railways and other transportation infrastructure. And this package is expected to create jobs and boost the competitiveness of the country. Now apart from it, NASA is set to launch a spacecraft to test an experimental method to deflect near Earth objects under the DART mission, which stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. And this mission is designed to test a kinetic impactor technique to deflect any asteroid or comet that might impact the Earth. And the mission is targeting a binary near Earth asteroid called Didymos and its moonlet Dimorphos. Okay. Now apart from it, recently US President Joe Biden has announced more conventional proposed rate hikes on the income of large corporations and the wealthiest Americans, similar to the wealth tax. And now this new tax would apply to the people with more than $1 billion in assets or $100 million in income for 3 straight years. And not only this, the billionaires would also face an additional tax on the non-tradable assets such as real estate and business interest once those assets are sold. And this new tax is expected to raise $200 billion to $250 billion. Okay. Question number 9. Which country has announced plans to send an indigenous rover to the moon by 2026? So the Australia Space Agency announced plans to send an Australian-made rover to the moon by the year 2026 under a deal with NASA. Another separate mission conducted by private companies in Australia and Canada may send another rover on the moon by mid-2024. And the arm will collect high-resolution data and information on the physical and chemical composition of lunar dust, soil and rocks with the goal of finding water. Okay. Now apart from it, Defense Research and Development Organization and Indian Air Force have jointly carried out 2 flight tests of the indigenously developed Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon. And the weapon has launched by an Indian Air Force aircraft from Chandan Ranges at Jaisalmer, Rajasthan, as per Defense Ministry statement. And the system is designed for a maximum range of 100 kilometers. And in both the tests, the intended target was hit with high accuracy. Okay. Now can you tell me what is coral bleaching? This is actually a response by overheated corals during heat waves where they lose their color and struggle to survive. And as per a new study, 80% of the coral reefs have been bleached severely at least once since 2016. Also it said that if global warming is held to 1.5 degrees, the earth can still have vibrant barrier reef. Okay. Now coming to last question, when is the International Day for Preventing the Exploitation of the Environment in War and Armed Conflict observed every year? So actually in the year 2001, the United Nations General Assembly declared 6th of November of each year as the International Day for Preventing the Exploitation of Environment in War and Armed Conflict. And the United Nations Environment Assembly also adopted a resolution in 2016 which proclaimed that a healthy environment plays a significant role in reducing the probability of an armed conflict. So basically it aims to minimize the consequences of conflict and wars on the environment. Now apart from it, Bandi Chhod Divas, also known as Day of Liberation, which coincides with Diwali Day, is a Sikh day of celebration, and it commemorates the day Guru Har Gobind Ji was released from Mughal jail at Gwalior Fort. Actually, Mughal Emperor Jahangir had imprisoned the 6th Guru Har Gobind Ji after killing his father Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So on the day of Diwali, when it was decided that Guru Har Gobind Ji would be released, he insisted that the 52 kings wrongfully held like him shall walk out. Okay, and Bandi means an inmate held in prison for political reasons. Okay, now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenuz Hadsana signing off.